Hello, everybody. This is Sherry Disler from Cardinal Gibbons High School in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Today, I am going to show you how to schedule a Zoom meeting. If you haven't been into Zoom before, you could just Google it. Go Google Zoom. It's going to show you Zoom video conferencing. Make sure you're at Zoom US. When you get to that site, you want to make sure it's zoom.us. A great thing to do is to take this address bar and drag it to your shortcuts, and you could easily go into any to Zoom again by just clicking on this link. I could edit that link and just call it Zoom, and next time I want to go in, I won't have to use Google. It'll be right there in my shortcuts. So once I'm in on the Zoom page, I'm going to sign in, and you're going to sign in you're going to sign in with Google at the bottom. You're going to choose your school account. If you're already logged into Google on your computer, you won't have to put your password in, but if you're not logged in, it's going to ask you for your Cardinal Gibbons email account password. It's going to take you to the page of meetings. So I have one meeting already scheduled here. You don't have to worry about that right now. At the top, you have schedule a meeting, join a meeting, host a meeting. Today we're going to learn how to schedule a meeting. So when you click on schedule a meeting, it's just like scheduling a meeting in a calendar. So I'm going to call this period D, the name of the class, AP, CSP, and put the date on it. It'll be easier to go through your meetings if you have the dates on them. So I'm going to call this Friday, April 3rd. You could give a description. You could put in here what you're going to be discussing. It's not mandatory that you put that in. The calendar is going to automatically come up with today's date. We're going to go to the calendar icon, find the date you're looking for. I'm looking for Friday, April 3rd. You're going to change the time. I'm going to make mine 1:00 p.m. It's going to be a 1-hour meeting. It's the default. You could have it a half hour. It could go over the hour. I would just leave the 1-hour meeting. This is really important. The time zone. It automatically defaults to Pacific time. So you're going to have to click that arrow and scroll down till you find Eastern time, and make sure your meeting is set for Eastern time. The meeting ID is going to generate automatically. Make sure that one's chosen. I changed some of my settings, so I'm going to go through each of these. Require a password. That might be set to require a password. I'm going to turn that off. Video. You want the host and the participants to be on off. You could turn them to on if you want, but this way they could turn it on while they're in the meeting. Audio, both, just in case they join with a phone. These are the important options here. And once we do these options, we're going to save our meeting, and then it'll give you your invitation. So enable join before host. We do not want the students joining our meeting before the host. So that means if you send out this link, students could join without you. You want to be there before the students could join. So we're going to leave that unchecked. Mute participants upon entry. It could be very noisy, especially the first couple of meetings that you have. So we're going to mute participants upon entry. You could mute them, or they can unmute themselves while they're in there. Enable waiting room. This is important. This keeps people out of your room that don't belong in there. If you see a name that you're not sure of, don't let them in. Other schools have had other people join their meetings, and this is a way to disable that. So we're going to enable a waiting room, so you have to let people join your room. Also, you could take attendance this way. You could take attendance while you're letting the students in the room, and they were there on time. And record the meeting automatically on the local computer. You want to click this because there's an option to do it when you get in there, but it's one less thing to think about. So if you always record the meeting before you set it up, you don't have to worry about that step. When you click save, it's going to give you that calendar item again, but it's already done, and it's going to go into your meetings, but it's going to show you. You could add it to your calendar if you want, and right here, copy the invitation. You click on that, you copy the information, or you could click copy the information button. Does the same thing. It says copy to your clipboard. You could X out of it once it's copied. Also, you could edit the meeting. If you made a mistake, you could go back and edit it. So you don't have to delete meetings once you started them. You could go back and edit them. And if you scroll to the left, here are all your meetings. So I have 2 meetings in there, and they're both going to show up. It has the date here and the time, but it's going to show up in a different time. Here's the Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you chose Eastern Standard Time. If you forgot to copy your invitation or you want to change anything, just click on it again. It takes me to the last screen that we were in. If I scroll to the bottom, I could edit this meeting. If I click this hyperlink, it takes me to that invitation again. So the best way to set up your meetings is through the web browser. Try not to do it off your iPad. You're not going to have all the same options. If you have any questions, please contact us, and we're hoping you're having a great day. Go Chiefs!